Welcome back to the Ryan Benson Podcast, Words from my Humble King. Per usual, I got a guest with me, man, and this guy has 14 years of acting experience, from acting, directing, casting, theater. In theater, he's worked on projects like Chosen. Just finished up working on a series, House of Sharks. You saw him on HBO's We Own the City, right? You can catch him on films such as Access. Just wrapped up filming that in Philly.
Yes.
Yep. The Forbidden, The Affair, appeared in the music video Fresh from the Feds by 42 Dog. I had the pleasure of doing a networking experience, Elevate, with his company. They do one quarterly, as a matter of fact. But his company has also expanded into actually offering classes now, teaching acting techniques, assisting new and upcoming actors in their headshots. Them obtaining their headshots and, them building up their acting resumes. This is Mr. Walter J. Parker, CEO of Parker Acting Up. How are you?
Good.
How you been, man?
I've been great. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. So look, man, you're getting done a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I from afar you get a chance to kind of look at it. But when we did the Elevate experience, I got a chance to see you at your best, right? And you got a knack for this thing. Tell me how you got started, man.
Man, about 14 years ago, I didn't even know I wanted to be an actor. Really, I didn't think of anything about acting. So I was on Craigslist, just probably searching for like a car or something, and it stumbled across an online series. I was like, this is about what's called Thirsty. So I was like, okay, sounds interesting. Let me check this out. So I applied for it. I guess the guy told me to come out to audition. Came out to audition, got the part, and fell in love ever since.
That simple.
Yeah.
Dang, 14 years ago. That's a decade.
Yeah.
Man, and this thing has transformed into a dream for you.
Yes.
When did that process take place?
Man, I would say, and that's crazy, 14 years, but the dream just started, like probably about, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I've been grinding, ever since. Now I'm thinking about going full time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Man, that has happened to me too, right? I tell people all the time, I never wanted to be in finance.
Right.
And it wasn't even, becoming a loan officer back in 2018.
Okay.
I didn't know what it was, as a matter of fact. It was a relationship that connected me to another relationship, so it organically popped up similar to yours.
Yeah.
And when I found out how much guidelines I needed to read, I was sick. Man, you gotta remember your scripts though. Like, I mean, of course I had to remember guidelines, but it was like, okay, let me just remember the important parts, the parts that's gonna affect my deals. And then, I get a chance to say now that I'm 8 years out from that experience that, I can go back and look stuff up, but you gotta actually have that cemented in your mind.
Yeah, man.
Tell me about the study and experience, because you have a wife, you have how many kids?
2.
2 kids, man. That's not no light work either.
No.
Nah, man, what's your process looking like? How you getting all of this done?
Man, listen, getting them involved. Getting my wife involved in every step.
Yeah.
She helps me with my self-tape. She's my reader. Sometimes my son records me. So, getting them involved and every which way. But I still got to have time to be a father, be a husband. So I'm juggling with that, but I'm keeping God first, and I'm maintaining.
Yeah, that's a good place to be, because I'm kind of in the same realm.
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff going on. Like you, I bring my kids out to events and stuff like that when I can. I never really. My son told me one time, he said, "Dad, I wanna kind of do community events like you, right?" And without him knowing exactly what I do, I was kind of seeing like, dang, like him just coming out, he organically is starting to adapt and organically starting to, develop a little bit of an appetite to be able to provide help to folks in need. And that came from just me kind of introducing him into the world. So, and you're doing the same thing. And your kids want to act now?
Nah, my son 13, he wants to do sports, games, video games. He's more education.
Yeah.
I mean, which is good.
Yeah, it's cool.
I say my educational back. Then my daughter, lawyer. She's 23, so she's gonna be a lawyer. So no acting, but
yeah, Dad. Well, listen, man. I tell you what, being a father while you got all of this stuff going on is a tough task for sure, and I can definitely attest to that. How have you been working through those moments? Because I find myself, man, the time you can't get the time back, and you also know that you gotta strike a bit of a balance because I can't let them see you quit, but I also have to be able to bear witness to their lives.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? How have you been kind of balancing it? And I know you've been getting involved, but we got to be in their realms too, right? Ryan's in basketball at first, before Jalil started at Towson, man, he was at track. Ryan was at basketball, and Cam was playing basketball, man. Trying to make it to all three of them, their situations is tough. Yeah, man. How have you, especially with the husband part too?
Yeah.
Because that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different ball game, right? So talk to me about this here, right? Because I know you're running into some friction.
Listen, I signed up for it, so I'm handling it. Yeah. No, that's tough, man. Just but I try to go to all the larger games, all this football stuff. Just being there first. I gotta keep in mind that family is first.
Yeah.
So it's like God, like Lance Sullivan said on Best Man, God Family Football. Mine is God Family Act,
Right. Right.
So just try to keep them steps, man. Just try to keep family always first, support my wife and anything she needs me to support her with, because she jumps a lot.
Yeah.
So continue to support her, be there for her, be there for Elijah, be there for Nehemiah, and then think about myself after that.
Mm-hmm. So acting part time, how does that work? I mean, how do you find? I know the last time we were talking, you was telling me that I just found an agent up in New York. How was that experience?
It was long, man. Really? Finding an agent is not easy, man. But yeah, so I just got my portfolio, got to submit everything, got them to sign me, and that's been going pretty good so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, just waiting on. They basically send me all the gigs, but I still got to do all the work. I do my self tapes and everything. I still got to submit and everything. So I'm still basically doing all the work. They're just saying we represent you.
Right.
So
right.
That's it.
I got you. Yeah, so you got a bit of a work ethic in there that you you grind.
No other way.
Yeah, no, that's right. There is no other way. So, all right, some of these projects you got going on, I would love to hear how you stumbled onto them because 14 years, that's a long time. And you said the agent thing is also taking a long time too. In between the actual jobs you're obtaining, right, or the projects you get a chance to work on, how do you handle the time? Because when the time goes by, for me, doubt sometimes creeps in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how are you handling that? How are you talking to yourself when all of that stuff is going on, man?
Man, you gotta be strong, man. You gotta be strong. Just like you said, yeah, when time goes by, if I'm not booking anything, it's like, man, am I not good enough? Why is nobody, emailing me back?
Right.
But I keep strong, man. I stay strong. I stay into it. I keep submitting, and as time go by, eventually I get something. Like I just got something new from a self tape. Now I got to juggle that with my job, so that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But so all that's time, man. Just this acting thing is time. It's waiting, but it's steady. What's the word I'm looking for? Just steady doing that though. Just steady doing.
I think they say a steady drip can put a hole in a rock. Yeah, nah, yeah, yeah. That's been my issue too, right? Just constantly going, 0 likes, 0 views. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, all kinds of doubt creeps in. And you're right. Are you good enough? Why ain't people responding to what I'm saying? Yes. I know I'm not lying. Right. I'm speaking truth, right? And you really can't figure it out because it's like getting through the first layer of people, the people that are within your sphere of influence. Let me talk to you about a dynamic that I wasn't prepared for. Hate. I was not ready for. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I didn't think I was doing anything that anybody would be jealous of.
Right.
Right. So it was like when I got it and when I started to receive it, it threw me off. Because I couldn't understand what is it about this that you hate. You know what I'm saying? And I know in that business it's a little bit more competitive than what I'm doing. Tell me how you managing those relationships, because you can't cancel them out.
Right. No, it's very competitive. I'm just trying to, when you say, hey, I'm not trying to, because I be looking, just strolling through, watching everybody else get their stuff.
Yeah.
Like, little voice be like, nah, you ain't get it. He got it. No, but you can't hate. You got to congratulate, man. You got to, because you need to build those relationships with those fellow actors.
Yeah.
So you can't hate on them, man. It shouldn't be hate, man. It's all love, because they hustling. They grinding just like me.
Just like, yeah. Timing, dealing with the timing, and the purpose in it all. On every episode, I dig into purpose, and I've heard it. I heard a little bit in it. With what you just discussed, with your kids and your wife, getting them involved, just the fact that they're seeing you do what you're doing, and they're seeing you work as hard as you're working, you're organically, exuberating a work ethic that they're going to be able to adopt and absorb, right? This ain't even enough for you to be able to teach them. They just so used to seeing it, and this is this way of life, right? And then the fact that you're doing the part-time joint, you're doing the acting part-time, and you got a full-time job. It's a bit of a juggle, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can clearly see, when is it my time? You know what I mean? And it is one of those things that you're right, because quick story for me, watching, I'm providing mortgages for folks to buy houses, and I hadn't bought one yet. And that was eating my soul, son. And I felt like I was up against some circumstances I couldn't do anything about. You know what I mean?
Yes.
True problems that were I'm gonna say now that I'm past it, they were just assigned to me. Of course, in the moments I'm like, woe is me, and then you gotta pick yourself out that mindset. But I want to talk to you about picking yourself out of the mindset. You're right. We can't, I've never hated on another individual for obtaining their home. As a matter of fact, I looked at that as purpose, right? Changing the financial trajectory of your financial future is exactly why I'm in the business. Mm-hmm. But man, I'm going to tell you, I had some moments with God. Yeah, I was in, yelling, arguing, right? Yeah. And because I didn't spend a lot of time in church, I'm telling them straight, like from the gut too. Like he said, come as you are. So I was telling them, right? Real. Yeah, keeping it real. But man, not every like every dude that's just getting tapped in with who he is, and I tell people all the time, I had shit figured out early. It's like I ain't struggled till late. You know what I mean? So it was like, man, I'm foreign to this, and things not working. No, I can't get this to work. I can't fit that in this. I can't get nothing to work right. That's how I was feeling anyway. Yeah. And the process of me coming out of that, it produced, like you said, some insecurities that I didn't feel like I had at that time. You know what I mean? How did you get through all that?
I'm so good. No, but just time, just time going past. Yeah, just maintaining, man. You just gotta maintain, man. You just can't quit. Yeah, you just really cannot quit, man. This is not for me.
It's not for the weak, man. It's so easy to quit.
Yes.
It's so easy to be mad at another individual too.
So easy. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Especially when things aren't going your way, you put in all this work and there's things blocking it, and it seems like you're not getting anything, or like you were saying, why is this happening? What's going on? But you're stuck in it, man, and then they're gonna rise.
Yeah, you do. You got some stuff you just wrapping up. As a matter of fact, talk me through how you. Let's start from the top. How'd you find out about? How'd you get involved with We Own the City?
So kept auditioning, right? Pat Moran, she's big in Baltimore, a casting agency. Kept auditioning because I know We Own the City is one of the biggest things. Baltimore don't get a lot of stuff, right? So this is a big thing in Baltimore. So I gotta get on here. So I was an extra. I was doing background. So I did that for We Own the City, and then I obtained the speaking role. Totally different things. But I kept auditioning. I did not quit. I maybe auditioned like 5 times. I mean, just kept auditioning. And I finally got that email that said you booked for that speaking role. I was like, yes.
Yeah. I felt that too. Yeah. I'm just not, I don't care. I just don't like, I told my wife one day, I said, yeah, my life lying to me. This is a lie. I am supposed to have what I want. Right? As long as it ain't a bad thing. This is a lie. Where we living, this is a lie. We're not gonna be here. Right? What I keep getting denied for, that's a lie. Those rejections, that gotta be either direction or it's gotta be a lie. I just didn't accept it. And it seems like you didn't have that cloth either. Like you did not accept no for an answer. You know what I mean? But the rejection, no, bro. Like I'm not in where I am. I'm not having a director tell me how he feels about my performance. That's different. Talk to me about that because they can speak some things to you that you gotta probably swipe off your shoulders if they reckless with their tongue.
Well, see, their way of speaking to you is not, you're not hearing it. If you don't hear nothing at all, that's their way of speaking to you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they don't come out directly. They say, you do this better, you do this better, you do this better. So that's worse. Because I'd rather that you tell me.
It's the silence, yeah.
The silence, because I don't know what I did wrong. What have I done wrong?
Right.
Do I go this way? Do I go this? I don't know. Right. So I'm still kind of, going through that, but I just keep submitting, man. Like,
yeah. So you don't even know really what adjustments to make. So what change did you make on the last? On the last.
For that one, I just kept auditioning, man. I just kept strong. I might change up something, memorize my lines, so I can go on. Even those auditions, don't have the paper in my hand, memorize all the lines because it's short. So I just did it the way they did. Give me some steps, do it this way, do that. Did it the way exactly how they told me to do it. Yeah.
So, all right, we own the city seems like anyway it's drastically different from the forbidden and the affair or the forbidden affair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talk me through changing up characters. Like, how are you putting yourself in these roles?
Man, as an actor, man. So yeah, I played the police on that. We own the city.
Okay.
The forbidden affair was I played a husband. So it's not hard, I'm a husband.
All right.
But my wife was cheating on me. She fell in love with a whole nother dude.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, love. Divorced me and everything. So, just gotta put yourself in that state of mind. What happens if my wife really divorced? How would I act? How would I feel? It's all, how would you respond? What would your eyes say? Acting is part of your eyes. How would your eyes respond? How would you feel? How would you think? What would you say? What emotions would you carry?
So if you're doing it that way, then you actually have to put yourself in the field. So you have to be feeling exactly what the role is calling for.
I want it to come off authentic.
So how you going home with that then? Like you can't just shake it off. You shaking it off like that?
Shaking it off.
What?
Shaking it off. It ain't happening to grab my grip.
No, because the guy from not Joker, but the guy from Batman, he died, man, because he killed himself off of that role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of felt like, anyway, especially if you got to do it a lot, you shuffling the brain around a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't come with any kind of thought process. You just like literally on to the next.
On to the next. The reason that Heath Ledger. It could have been, it had to be something else with that.
Think so?
Because, Robin Williams killed himself.
Right.
That's his downfall. He's a legend.
Right.
But it was mental issues. So I think it was more. But I mean, it is a lot. And I know how, because Will Smith was saying, he was carrying it home too. Some of his films. Mm-hmm. So I get it.
Because if you want to be great, you have to immerse yourself in it. It seems like.
Yeah, you have to.
And in order to stand out from the next person.
You have to, man. And if it hasn't happened yet, but if it does, you just gotta be prepared for it. Yeah.
So talk me through this role, right? You're the husband. Was there any moments though, like be honest with me? Did you go back home and look at your wife like, hey yo, if you ever and it's a movie too, so you gotta kind of make it realistic, but then pull out some things and exaggerate some real life situations. Did you ever go back and say, because my wife did look at me a few times after having a dream and waking up wilding me out. So I know it had to be a moment like you looked at her like, bro, if you ever.
No, I be honest with you though.
No.
I left it. I left it. The character was getting cheated on. Not me. Not all. Right. I never looked at, because I mean, that's trust, and that's a whole nother thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about it for myself. It would be difficult for me to hop in and out of emotions that way, right? Because I'm just learning how to feel, to be honest with you. So I don't even know if I can tap in to those roles, which is even more, intriguing about your journey. So let's talk about Elevate. I'm gonna Elevate Park Acting Up. How did that get started?
So yeah, probably feeling down one day, going through that. Yeah, going through those trials, like, man, ain't nothing going on. But you know what? How can I help other people? What is my ministry? You're supposed to be on this earth to help people, right? So I was like, how can I? Yeah, what's my purpose? How can I help people, man? And I just thought about it. I said, maybe I can. I've been acting for some while, some time. Maybe I can, help new actors, not struggle as much. It's gonna be a struggle for both. But maybe I can give them some technique, give them some side hustles, some side things instead of, So yeah, I thought about it. I was like, let me do this. And then I want Park Acting Up to be everything under one umbrella. So maybe I can add casting to it because if a director called me and said, hey, you got somebody? I'm always used to giving them somebody. Because I've been in it for a little bit. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let me call up my homeboy. You want to do this for him? Yeah. So I'm used to doing that. So maybe, let me add that to a business. So that's when I called, Christian up and told her everything, and she's like, she's down.
Well, with I do think that that's dope, right? Because pouring in, paying it forward, you know, we will have lived for them. I think that's what a guy told me a while back. And I was getting ready to make a mistake. I was in my anger. Yeah. And the human being I am right now is not who I was as a young man. And I'm still young. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. But in my immaturity, in my infancy, I was, it was a tough go at it. But I ran into a moment and I was justified. And I was trying to change at that time, and I felt like I was being triggered and pulled back into a life I was trying to get out of. And I wasn't nothing gonna stop me from getting it done either. But all he had told me when I was getting ready to leave the gym, he was like, "Man, listen, let me have lived for you." He said, "I know you're mad, and I know you're right." He said, "But does fighting to be right equate to losing your family?" And I was like, "Yeah, he must have lost his family." You know what I'm saying? And you going through the rejections, going through trying, auditioning 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, understanding how that feels and wanting to provide direction for the youngsters so that they might not have to, deal with the mud that you had to deal with, I think is dope. So what does the acting classes consist of?
They have a 6-week acting course every Monday, which that consists of, like we said, helping you with headshots, helping you with your acting resume, helping you with your acting reel. If you don't have the acting reel, we'll try to help you to get one. Just basic things that the casting director may ask for. Teach you how to do a self tape, teach you how to do a monologue. We always have 2 monologues, so many people may not know that. I can lead it in the dramatic monologue. So things like that.
So, all right, well, hold on. Let me wrap my mind around that. So, what's an acting video? It's a compilation of things you've done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in that reel, you have to have a comic role.
No. That's for the monologue.
Oh, okay. The monologues and the acting.
The reel is just, so they can see different ranges, different emotions. So it should be all different films.
Yeah. All right. So if you're a rookie just starting out,
right,
what do you do?
don't have it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's when I recommend them to do maybe pay for a reel. Do like a reel with reel. It's a lot of businesses out here that will provide you a script and allow and record you, and then you use that for your reel.
Oh, yeah. So it's game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you putting them on game. All right. So talk to me about this resume, the acting resume. Is there a particular structure that's not easily understood that's more? And I know without giving away too much, but is there something that these directors are looking for, or people that might do casting? Are there particular things that they're looking for with this resume? How complex is it?
Yeah, I would say, man, I would say they're looking for probably big name stuff. Like I did the HBO Max big name networks, speaking roles, things like that. But for the new actor, they don't have that. That's a struggle.
Right.
So now I gotta teach them or, try to get them to understand to build their way up to that. You gotta always probably start off you may not, but try to look for those big name things and try to get yourself into them.
What has been harder for you? I'm not taking a side step. I'm bringing it back, but I wanted to know: is theater a little bit more difficult than a role, or is a role or a movie a little bit more different than theater, or is a movie a little more different than an actual series? Like, how does that all work?
So that's for, the person. To each his own business.
Okay.
For me, theater is live. So I may say that is a little harder because you can't mess up, right? You got to remember your lines. You can't stop.
Right.
So that's hard. But as far as film, I can mess up. Cut. Right. Cut and stop the tape. Oh, let me do that again. Let me do that again. You don't want to, but you can.
Right.
But you can't do that in bed. You got to keep that and keep going. And in the series is the same thing. But that's what money is because you still in that series.
Right.
Some people getting $40,000 an episode.
What?
That's the big people. Yeah. Like the Abbott Elementary.
What?
Yeah, they're getting $40,000 an episode. Little dude from Everybody Hate Chris.
Right.
Him. He's getting that bag.
So would you suggest to a newer actor, if you are going to build this thing up, it might be best for you to start in theater since it is a little bit more difficult, and you have to have a little bit more of a raw skill set?
Yes, I started in theater, and I think it helped me for fun. So I would suggest to them to start in theater, to see where they at. See, my got stage fright. You gotta get out there. If you're an actor, you're an actor.
Is that a thing? Stage fright?
Stage fright
For an actor?
Yes. I know somebody right now that will never do a stage play because something happened to them when they was little. They did a stage play and something happened. Just like getting hit by a car or so, being in a car accident. You don't want to never drive that. So it's like that.
Yeah. So look, they actually put me through one of these techniques, and I had to set a water bottle, but I only had a minute to do it. Now I cheated because I saw the clock. But they didn't know I seen the clock. So I saw the clock, so I was able to kind of build something immediately off of that. But walk folks that are listening in through how difficult it is to pick something up and begin to transform your mind in a heartbeat.
It's very big. That's like improv. Just what to say for that scene. They just give you a topic, like you did with the water bottle. Just give you a subject, and you gotta think about what to say. You gotta make it make sense.
Right.
You gotta sell it to the audience. So that's very difficult.
Yeah, and I found myself, I'm in my own office. Why am I shaking, bro? Like that's I should be fine right now, but you're right. Like the mental switch that it took, over a water bottle. I can only imagine how your first couple of gigs were. Walk me through it. I want to hear about it.
Man, I started with Dr. Branch.
The guy, last name Dunstan.
Yes.
Brian Dunstan. Yeah.
Man, I was so nervous on them stages, man. I was like scared, shitting bricks, man. Like I never quit that.
Yeah.
Kept going, kept hard like this. You talk about 400 or 500 people watching you. But my biggest thing, my biggest scare is messing up.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess the other person up. So if I mess up and I mess them up, that's like my biggest fear. And I just want to be perfect. And I think that's what gets me too.
Yeah, there's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah.
Nah, I got you. Me too. Networking events, not acting, but when I first got in this business, to walk in a room full of millionaires was tough, bro. And I didn't feel like I had enough to say to them. I didn't feel like I had brought any value in the room. Man, it was tough, bro. You didn't know what to say to anybody. You got to spark a conversation, but where do I start? Exactly, man. It was crazy. And I get you because you don't want to mess up somebody's focus. That is a $100,000 deal, right? And it's one of the biggest purchases that a person is gonna make. So you do not want to mess that up. I can relate to that. You know, we talk on here often about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. But when you're in it, it's not as easily stated as it is performing it because you got to control your shaking, right? And then sometimes you just got to be like, I'm shaking, but it is what it is, right? It's like, and then mess up in your speech, right? I know in some of the conversations I was kind of had, you could call it a bit of an improv type of situation, trying to fake laugh when I thought somebody told a joke, learning cultures, because you know, every room has a culture, you know, trying to just figure it out and tap in. And being in your skin while you're trying to do that, right? Yeah. Talking to folks who you know don't want you in the business, you know, and or talking to underwriters who didn't want to give mortgages to the folks that came in that had some trouble on the credit report. Yeah. It's like, man, I felt like I was starting to, you know, it actually fueled some of the anxieties that pushed me to want to quit early, right? Because I was like, yo, I just feel like every day I'm fighting myself. You know what I mean? And it wasn't enjoyable. But I'm like you, I never wanted to lose. Like, yeah. And for me, it wasn't even I don't want to win. I just didn't want to lose. Yeah. Right. And then when you get somebody's mortgage and you start working with them, you start learning about them, right? You go through their credit report. So, you know, you're really learning them, right? You understand their behaviors, patterns, and you develop a rapport. You develop a relationship with the folks that you're serving. Man, I did not want to drop the ball for those folks. So have you ever messed up an actor?
I never messed up an actor, but I did. This is bad too. My mind blank. I forgot all my lines. This is on stage. It was like I was so nervous. My mind was blank. I just improvised. Right. You can't stop. Right. You stop and everybody looking at you. Right. Yeah, you about to go quick.
I saw Martin do that 101 times though. It was nice with it though. Like on the Martin show, like you know, they had those bloopers at the end of the show. Yeah, yeah. And you know, where he would make everybody laugh because he forgot all his lines. Right. Is it really that simple to just kind of on the whim, just kind of think of whatever might go in the slot? Like how did you work? If you forgot the lines, how did you stay in that?
You gotta know storyline. You gotta know script. Right? You gotta know that's why they say learn your partner's line. You know what your partner talking about, just like me and you tell me. I know what you're talking about. I know what to say. Even if I forget my lines, I know the storyline and learn the script. That's why we teaching you actors. Don't just learn your lines because that can happen. Know your partner's lines. As hard as it may sound, because you gotta already learn your damn lines. Now you talk about learn your partner's lines, learn the whole script.
Right. Yeah. Right. So he putting y'all on game. I don't know if y'all know.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So headshots. We were having this conversation, and I remember telling you, I'm like, it's a picture. Right? I had one of my homeboys take my first headshot. Yeah. And he was like, nah, man, these joints go up to like $3,500, $5,000 for a headshot. And you showed me one. I was like, yo, dang, that's crazy. The detail, it almost looked like an AI generated picture. You know what I mean? But it's so clean. How are you advising without giving away too much? A person about how valuable that portion of the business is.
That's your look. And that's the most important because directors and casting agencies, they're looking for your look. So your headshot, everybody's gonna ask for that headshot. Now somebody asks, send a selfie. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna ask for that headshot. And that's your look. So it should match with that selfie. So my headshot shouldn't look like I got a bald head, right? And now I'm seeing you a picture like this. My headshot should match how I look. So that headshot is important. But it can't look like, I can't have a background like this in my headshot. Because they're going to be focused on all that. They got to be focused on me. So that's why it's called a headshot. They got to be focused on all that about here to here. And yeah.
So do you get different headshots for different projects you have to do, or that you're auditioning for?
No, I use the same headshot, but might be one of businessman. That's why you can take more than one headshot.
Okay,
so you want to shoot full body shot so they can see the full body because sometimes they ask for that. So you got to send a full body. Different clothing. Maybe a shirt. I wanted to be like a SWAT type of guy. So I'm gonna probably do some more headshots in like a uniform type.
Got you. And then you just kind of filter it out when you're in the project. Exactly. That makes sense. All right. So over the course of 14 years, you said this thing morphed into a dream, but it didn't get that way until 6 years, about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that transition. What made you fall in love?
Well, I fell in love the first time 14 years ago. I did. It was like, basically, it's like, man, I can really do this. I can really portray this person. I love it. It's like, I don't want nothing else.
So it was like a discovery.
Yeah. Okay. And like, I never went to an acting school. It's like a natural talent. Like, if you find your natural talent.
Yes. Yeah.
Stick with
It's
it.
not even a job at that.
It's not a job at that.
So now it's starting to make sense because, every time, you said you would get rejected. And I'm like, how you dealing with all of that rejection? You're like, I'm just not quitting. But it makes sense though, because if you're saying like, yo, this is what I'm born to do, then it's easy to keep working at something that you inwardly just kind of, to my core.
I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
Nothing else. This is it. That whole entertainment aspect.
So, all right. So you guys are, so you offering, what is it, like a teaser to the 6 week or?
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to me about
that.
that.
We're doing Tip Tuesdays on Instagram every Tuesday.
Shout out to Tip Tuesdays. Instagram. What's Instagram page?
I just on a Parker Acting Up page.
Parker Acting Up.
Yep. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. You get myself or you get my partner. For Tip Tuesday, just a smidget, and then we do the free acting classes every month. So you come in there for 2 hours, we play some acting games, we get you warmed up, we get you stretching and everything. We get you Christian does an exercise like with your mouth and everything, relaxing your tonsils and all that stuff. So yeah.
I looked at her like she was crazy when she did that.
I said, yeah, you see it?
Yeah, right before I did the improv thing, and she was getting her tongue ready. It was a tongue exercise, but she said something real quick, and I'm like, I'm never gonna be able to say that, bro. But nah, she been this a while too, so I can kind of understand.
Oh, that's important.
I know, and as I take it all in, I'm learning how meticulous you have to be in this business in order to stand out. Talk about the pressure. That's one of the things I pride myself talking to the guys about. As men, we like to be out in front. We like to lead. And we want to have things figured out, but we don't always have things figured out. And the pressure. Man, pressure makes you or pressure will break you, right? And I know with you having 2 kids, one is getting ready to be a lawyer, you can't produce that kind of greatness without feeling some kind of pressure, right? So it's like, talk to me real quick to the folks that's listening, especially the guys, man, about how you've been able to hold. Like, I think one guy told me a while back, he said, youngster, how you see it, I help you hold it. Talk to me about how you've been holding this rock, man, because it's big. You got a big dream. You got a family with a bright futures, big futures.
Yes.
But you're you and your wife, you guys are the foundation. And me personally, this is not everybody's union, but I'll let my wife come to the table with her greatness. I do not try to rain on her parade, but I have to make sure I'm coming with mine too. Now, talk to me about that pressure that you I know have felt, chasing your dream because you're not going to quit at it, but then demanding greatness from your kids while you show them that level of greatness too, but they get the chance to see the mud, the failures, the ugly parts, all of that.
So much pressure, man. So much pressure. Like today, before I came here, I was like, man, I want to do this full time. Like I mentioned, that's what I'm like, what I'm gonna do? Like when I'm not getting jobs, when I'm not getting bookings, what am I gonna do if I don't have a full time job to back this up? Because I get paid every 2 weeks. That goes to mortgage and stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I gotta figure this out because if I'm gonna keep on working this full time job, I'm gonna become a full time actor. One of it gotta go.
Right.
So I'm like, man, I'm probably do Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats.
That's where I was at.
Cell phone. And this is now.
To 3 a.m.
Yeah, man. So like on my days off and I'm not in New York or something, I'm gonna have to do that. But I'm at to grind 10 times harder. I'm at 50 submission tapes a week. About 400 submissions, it's gonna be a super grind. So that's big pressure right there, man. And then still family.
Yeah.
And then, of course, money. That's the biggest thing. Right. Like you said, as men, our wives are great. They bring the bacon, but we gotta match that. I can't just sit around and let her be working. And I'm just sitting in the house watching TV.
And I cut that way.
Yeah, I can't do that. I just cannot do that. I gotta be out that house. So if I'm not in New York Street or anything, I gotta be out the house doing Uber or Lyft.
The pressure of holding greatness. Yeah. Journey. Man, I tell you what, I appreciate that. And I can't, the reason why I asked you, and I ask everybody, because I'm currently in the moments feeling the same things, right? I'm trying to do big things, trying to find the time to do all that I have on my mind, right? And trying my best to still be of service. I'm big on that. Yeah. Helping folks without having to ask for anything back. Like, I'm big on that. I never want, I only want to be, I only want to assist, because I believe that, relationships are everything, but not just that, I believe purpose is too, so, but the pressure of wanting to be great, the pressure of making sure my family is still good, because my kids got lives, bro. And, Ryan got his problems. You know what I mean? He got his problems. Cam, he just discovering some issues that he trying to make a problem. You know what I mean? And then, wifey, man, I gotta come home. Don't you listen to wifey. Don't take us the wrong way. I love you, girl. But I swear I gotta sit there and listen to stuff I listen to, bro. Like, I gotta be a husband, right? It's like, you can't shut her out. No. You have to be willing to hear where she's coming from. And that's a press, especially when I'm frustrated coming in the house and I just want to be by myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta do something. I got the pressure of pulling up and dropping everything off at the door so I don't bleed on the family, which I've done a few different times out of my frustration and out of the pressure that I feel that I don't really want to talk to my wife about. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I respect it. I'm still figuring it out. And I'm like you, all I can do is say, yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It's going to take some years, I feel like, until we figure it out. But I tell you what, King, I respect the fact that you are willing to keep, battling with that unresolved issue. And I want everybody to get a chance to kind of tap in with Parker Acting Up. You gave them your Instagram, but just tell everybody how they can get in contact with you.
Yes, sir. So yeah, like I said, you can follow me at J Acting, JAY_acting 36. That's my personal Instagram page. And like we said, I have the Parker Acting Up Instagram page. Go ahead and follow that. Shoot me a DM, I'll my email, parkeractingup@gmail.com. Shoot me a email, I'll answer it and we'll take it from there. Any questions you may have about acting, anything, just come to me next.
Yeah. Man, you're working with some big names. You got a project coming out right now, right?
Dude, I have a project in December. Orlando.
Yeah.
That's a play. I'll be home for Christmas.
Yes. And you said that comes out in
December.
Yeah. Stay tapped in.
Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. I appreciate you joining me. Walter J. Parker Acting Up. These are words, Uncle Kings. Peace.